So after BFDIA 5, BFDIA just kind of never continued because they went on like a 4-year hiatus, and then they made IDFB and then BFB, and so far and so forth. And we're here where BFP's ended, and now they're on the new season, Teapot. But I wanted to share my prediction on what I think would have happened with if BFDI ended, going off the past votes and just what the trajectory of the show is going on. Also, my name is Info Distinct, and if you aren't already, please consider subscribing. It would mean a lot. I'm trying to reach my first ever 100 subscribers, and yeah, it would mean a lot. So, last episode, No Name got eliminated, and it's pretty obvious who's gonna go home because they made a little thing with Puffball at the end of BFDI 5, and she's like, "Oh, if I'll get eliminated, or if we go for elimination, I'll win the prize," because she always got the most likes. So I think that's just a gateway to get rid of Puffball. So I think in the next episode, I think Wobunch gets eliminated or gets up for cake at stake, and I think Spongy would have gotten voted out. I think Spongy was definitely on a trajectory of being not very liked as a character. His dislikes were definitely going up, and I think out of all these characters, Spongy was probably the least liked. I think Wobunch is a pretty likable team. I think there's a lot of likable characters on Wobunch that weren't getting that many votes, and they were on No Name. It was mainly the Free Smart people or Golf Ball who were getting a lot of the votes. But I think Spongy would get voted out. And then for the next elimination, I actually think Wobunch gets up for elimination again. And I think this time, it's a pretty hard one. I think Yellowface. I think Yellowface gets eliminated. I think it's a toss-up between Yellowface and Balmy. But I think Yellowface will definitely get a lot of likes. But I do think he'll also get a lot of dislikes because Yellowface also did get a lot of dislikes in his future kick-ass stakes. And then I think Team No Name gets up for a kick at stake. And I think Golf Ball gets voted out. If you watch BFDIA, Golf Ball was literally in the top 2, I think, every single time. Maybe not every single time, but I think it was every single time. And yeah, I don't think Golf Ball is going to make the merge. I think Golf Ball is too much of a hated character. As much as people love Golf Ball, there's a lot of people that hate Golf Ball. So yeah. And I think next episode, Wobunch goes up for kick at stake again. It's a lot of Wobunch. But I think Balmy gets eliminated. And yeah, I think just Nickel, Pin, Corny, and Needle are just liked a lot by the BFDI community, and I just think Balmy just doesn't have that good of a personality compared to the other characters on the team. Then I think No Name gets up for elimination again. I think Rocky gets voted out. Simple, I think it's either between Fries or Rocky, because I think Gelatin, Fire, and Tennis Ball are pretty liked characters. Fries is also pretty liked, but also did get a lot of dislikes. But yeah, I think after this, I think we get rid of the teams. And I think there aren't going to be any regional this season. I think there's a lot of characters, a lot of hectic things going on. Also, I don't think there's going to be any more switches in the teams because I don't really think there'd be a reason for anyone else to switch anymore. So this is the merge. Get them all. It's kind of a big merge. 12 contestants, but I think there were like 22 when the season started. And there's 12 characters left, I'm pretty sure, if I counted right. Wouldn't be surprised there's like one more elimination because the halfway mark. But again, I think this is a pretty good merge. I think this is pretty reasonable time to merge. And then I think Actually, I'm gonna put all the contestants that are safe, not safe, down here, and then make a little box that's like, make this the safe box, and I'll make it green. So yeah, that's the safe box. First vote, I'm gonna say, I don't think they're gonna do how BFDI did it with the points. I think it'll just be like, one character wins immunity. I think that's just how it's gonna be. Maybe 2 or 3. But I think first one, I think half of them are safe, half of them aren't. I think the half that are gonna be safe are Coiny. Oh, wait, so like behind all of them. Hold up. Yeah, okay. So Coiny. I think Needle is safe. I think Tennis Ball is safe. I think Ice Cube is safe. I think Nickel's safe. And then I think Ruby is safe. So those are the 6 safe. 6 up for elimination. And I think the first person voted out of the merge will be Pencil. I think Pencil was definitely on the verge of not being liked anymore. And that shows in BFB when she's the first person voted out of BFB. So I think Pencil, first merge boot. Then I think one person gets immunity this episode, and I think it would be Ice Cube. I don't know why, just have a feeling Ice Cube would be safe. And I think for the second vote off, I think it will be Fries. I think out of all the characters, he's probably the least liked, and it just kind of makes the most sense. Not too much reasoning behind it, but yeah. So this is where it gets really interesting and really hard to predict, because I feel like all the other eliminations are pretty straightforward. A lot of them aren't too liked of characters, but these 10 are definitely very liked characters. So this is when you kind of have to start predicting things happening in the story. But again, no one knows what's going to happen, so it's going to be very hard to predict that. So I'm just going to go off probability of being voted out and connections to other characters that aren't very liked, or just past seasons and stuff like that, or past votes. So I think with this elimination, I'll say Coiny, Needle, and Tennis Ball are safe. Again, no reasoning behind any of the safeties I'm putting on, just, I guess. And I think Book would get eliminated. I think Book is kind of an annoying character. Didn't get too many dislikes in BFDIA, but again, BFB and other seasons kind of shows Book becoming more unlikable, kind of controlling of Ice Cube, and yeah, I just think Book would get eliminated based off previous connections and the way she acts towards characters and her chemistry with other characters. Her only friend being Ice Cube, and Book kind of being annoying and controlling towards Ice Cube. Next elimination, I'll say Fiery and Nickel. And Ice Cube are safe. So, I think Needle gets voted out. I think Needle's a very liked character. However, Needle does get annoying, has a slapping problem. Kind of rude. And I think this is where Needle's time comes, Not a bad placement. Ninth, isn't too bad, but it's not as likable as the other characters here. These are the top dogs. Coiny, Pin, Gelatin, Ruby, and Tennis Ball. Just too much for Needle to survive. Alright. I think Gelatin's safe. I think this elimination, I think this is when it's Nickel's time to go. I think Nickel's a very funny character, and I think Nickel, out of the debuters, was a very good debuter this season. But again, I swear Nickel's time comes, 8th place. Not bad at all, but I think that's where Nickel ends up getting voted out. Nothing against Nickel, but yeah, just my prediction. This time, I think Pin, Ruby. Yeah, I think Pin and Ruby win immunity. And this is where I think Coiny gets voted out. I think Coiny had definitely a better character this season. Very likable, one of the most liked characters of BFDI. Definitely one of the most biggest, probably the biggest character in BFDIA, except for Pin and maybe like Pencil or Golf Ball or Gelatin. But I think Coiny's run comes to an end because Coiny also, some people just don't like because of the friendship with Fiery. I think it would be like, I think a big thing that would have happened in BFDIA is Coiny and their friendship being like more resolved, you could say. No, I mean, you could say just a more resolved friendship, and I think people would like that. But I think maybe a fight happens and Coiny just gets the bad end of the stick. Alright, this is where the final 6. I think there's only going to be individual immunities after this, so no more group eliminations. I'm going to make the characters bigger. Oh, that's really weird proportions. This elimination, I think Pin wins immunity. And then I think Tennis Ball gets voted out. I think because of old relationships with Golf Ball catches up to his likeness, I guess. And I don't know. I think something would happen to start where Tennis Ball gets eliminated here. I just don't see Tennis Ball getting that far. So, yeah. Final 5. This time, I think Fiery wins immunity. And I think Pin gets eliminated. Again, old things catch up to Pin. Old personalities not being very liked in BFDI. Maybe something like another thing lapses in the story. I think Pin has a good run this season, but I think it just gets cut here because, these are 4 very, very likable characters. And yeah, I think it just happens. I think Pin gets voted out. Final 4. And I think Ruby wins immunity. And I think Fiery gets voted out. I think Fiery gets voted out because, winning BFDI, I think will have something to do with this vote. And since the final 3 made it was the final last time, I think people just don't want to see Fiery win again. So I think Fiery gets voted out here. And I actually don't think it'll be a final 3 finale. I think people will think it's a final 3 finale, but I don't think it'll be a final 3 finale. And this time, let's just make the text bigger real quick, For the big 3, they deserve some size upgrades. So for the final 3, I think the last immunity challenge, I think Gelatin wins it. I think Gelatin solits his spot in the final 3. And I think Ruby gets voted out 3rd. I contemplated this, but I think Ruby gets voted out 3rd. I think it'll be a new character versus an old character in the finals. I think it'll be Gelatin versus Ice Cube. And I think the winner of BFDIA would be Gelatin. I think Gelatin wins. Gelatin came 2nd in BFB. And I think Gelatin's character, definitely a very liked character. My favorite character of BFDIA when I was first watching it. But that was like 11 years ago or something. I think rewatching it now, I think my favorite character that season was Coiny. But Gelatin was universally loved by everyone. And I think people would want to see a new character win. And I think that character would be Gelatin. So that is my BFDIA prediction. Comment down below if you agree. Who you think would have won? Do you think I'm an idiot for thinking Gelatin would win, or do you think I'm a genius for thinking Gelatin would win? So, yeah, that's my prediction.